the yesia ewo dwumezi konkro kesido memma no hodo ende fida the 11th day of April 2025 memma no hodo nyi aha Kastle 90.3 FM aha and you discuss issues dispassionately without of any fear or panic. Ewiabri, you are part of this program on inti wadwintre or very important wabra mereji for 0244 743 143 0244 743 143. Damaso and a Facebook and a YouTube you stream live ewo like the page, share na leave your comments yan can inform more na ende ebanansam eno oracle education minister enoze abotuga on oye double track system that in 2027 and double tracking or scrapping off ewo on my Ghana ha damaso and wasanzi atu oye school authorities enyimde. Recently there has been rise of indiscipline ewo second cycle institutions, some of them across the country. Recently oyaza Adventist SHS young guy, school guy oze ne papa ni itudiko school etunukotu ya and one of the students ninyi efra ewo ono ni nyina kan semi bi wa minister wa charge or the school authorities to instill or restore discipline ewo oye schools ahoro. Boko issue no is it politically motivated? What is going on? President akasa for home. Then you there a time came otumfo or say to two asante yene otuni nansi asamido otu anamon. By statistics mayeta sede by infi ebien ziribenyi nyimpa by 300 na wahwe wonem kwa ewo the Boko issue ene da yamenya nti that the majority leader in parliament nifie krampo no oyaza odija koto police barracks ewo Boko odija koto. The Boko issue no or escalate into something else ana yaboshe is ho enkomo. Now, do you know a whistleblowers act? In the whistleblowers act and the boka kwaje adusua kakra afa or ya whistleblowers act our Ghana. Na whistleblowers act no okaden na even information and na qualify within the whistleblowers act no even information will be to audit to abontina or qualify to be a whistleblower. Information provided by a whistleblower. What are the protection measures? Our Emma information demono or zemo. And I able to describe honorable intim fojo ni issue about to abontin as a whistleblower ana. These are some of the issues we are bringing. Yabosheni yezi ho enkomo ewa ha. Entikano within these 3 or more hours yatna see be part of this conversation. That amazing can for messages in 0244 743 143 0244 743 143 Fafado Fabra na inzi enkomo ewa ha. But ma yanda injumoko worusen as a better way bet influencer what the end one could say my person kumnya on into betting etra na say edia try to share the code with your friends and loved ones, even your family members. Share the code with them. Now once you won't wo code no do na won twa or your bet we ni bi the more will win no and you earn 4% of their winnings. 4% of their winnings. Into your abri mo kotokum in your day. One could say me mo kotokum in your day. Terms and conditions apply. Bet way, bet the responsible way. Hisense them control that 2025 Hisense General Campaign Ogudara Orokodo. All day is ban, all day didn't switch a free gym. It did one oil show, a be here fan, a be here air conditioners. Televisions, any my bazaar, a be here new one. Papa Ojananado from Hisense. Visit Hisense one showroom across the 16 regions of this country. Mankesim or Ben Blue Hills Restaurant. Damaso and when you Pacific Filling Station when you need the Infinim Frey 0302 55 0000. Hisense everyday prices for everyday people. Damaso and a Ridge Royal Hotel. That mean can show the East Day or packages bebre Zimo for you fetch him or Ridge Royal Hotel. Good Friday, that is on the 18th, family day out from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Easter Saturday 19th on your kids day out. Damaso in a Easter Sunday special brunch and a Easter Monday, that is 21st of April, family day out 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So these are the activities this Easter Ridge Royal Hotel was say amo elho. Our second reach Cape Coast Afra 0312003222 and 0501672908. Rich Royal Hotel, richly inviting, comfortably yours. In Yumoku Eyunum in Ibia Wakaho, interviews are ebe game park, cool chop, game park, and the ocean nasen the interviews are then the discussions are yebeye and the area breed. On to join the conversation. Missing is the Kwamina Esuman. Maminda production team headed by Mr. Bernard Ugo, Osman, FKK, Blackus, and Afi Dorinda, Unyanu we train out to Facebook and then also on YouTube. Ma yanko humanodo na yankezi inkomo embre sisia. Mezin kama kacho de bezin komo afa oye Whistleblowers Act no ho. Na Whistleblowers Act no section 1 and yabejina oye section 1. Now section 1 no eben nsam no ho na even information and not qualify to be under whistleblower. Many lawyer Abdullah is in a constitutional lawyer or Ahumando. Lawyer, assalamu alaikum.
Ya alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Meji de bibia yeboko.
Nyamana dom edanyamiase bibia yeboko.
So edanyamiase Cape Coast funya so say wada wase pardon de ajepine nye bezi inkomo.
Nesome check Coast funya.
Lawyer Ewiabri say you can't Whistleblowers Act or you even act e Ghana ha.
Okay, whistleblower no. Emre bia mesebejafo ehihye o my penny de in such as year 2006. The title no yen fancy your friend Act 720. Na ye can whistleblower ono no ye obi a mfansa boni bi koso baby na wetia Encrophobia Whistleblowers Act no aleste won na so sene be a baby a boni no e koso no ye betimi abra no ase ana se ye betimi achi encrofo a won di sa boni no ana se boni no intimi enkosokra in this I share section 1 title of the Whistleblowers Act na alleged circumstances are obi a friend whistleblower no obetimi blow vessel na security agencies and as a ahemfo and as members of parliament and as this assembly for etime tu anamon na yesi sade na no ye di kan se ebia whistleblower no enya ntiye se obi edi oman ewu anase obi edi oman ewu fanse odi oman bone anase ogusu a odi oman bone anase opese odi oman bone three separate instances the dikan say wadi ɔman ne bɔne anaasɛ ɔpɛ sɛ odi ɔman ne bɔne anaasɛ obetumi edi ɔman ne bɔne anaasɛ wɔyɛ obi a wabu mmara so anaa ogu so a wabu mmara so anaasɛ obetumi abu mmara so anaasɛ yɛtɔ so mmiɛnsa ne sɛ pɛpɛyɔ ankɔ so wɔ baabi anaasɛ pɛpɛyɔ no ɛnyɛ adeɛ a ɛbɛtumi akɔ so ɛyɛ borɔfo kasa mu no fan sɛ miscarriage of justice akɔ so wɔ baabi anaa ɛgu so a ɛkɔ so anaasɛ ɛbɛtumi akɔ so anaasɛ sɛ wɔni akorɔ no ɛyɛ adwuma wɔ institution bia mu anaasɛ ɔnyɛ adwuma wɔ institution bia mu na sɛ hu sɛ ɔman no agyapadeɛ yɛasɛe no anaasɛ yɛgu so a yɛsɛe no anaasɛ yɛbɛtumi asɛe no anaasɛ obi security is at stake anaa the security or the safety or the health of a community is at stake here ɛdɔso saa nipa koro yi ɛbɛtumi akɔ blow whistle ɛde ama an appropriate person or an appropriate institution na anamɔpa bi a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛtu fa ho no na yɛtumi atu afa ho na nkurɔfoɔ a ɛyɛ saa whistleblower yi ɛbɛtumi ɛde information akɔ akɔma wɔ mu no wɔn dɔɔso paa ebia sɛ wɔyɛ employee a obetumi de information akɔma obi a ɔfa no adwuma ɛyɛ borɔfo kasa mu no employer anaasɛ obetumi akɔ report ɛde ama a police officer anaasɛ attorney general anaa auditor general anaasɛ a staff of the intelligence agencies obetumi ɛde saa information ama mmarahyɛ badwani ɔbɛsɛ tumi de saa information ama shrad commission on human rights and administrative justice and as a national media commission anaa narcotics control board anaa wɔhene anaa abusua panyin anaasɛ ɔsɔfoɔ anaasɛ malam anaa imam anaasɛ assemblyman anaa minister anaasɛ office of the president korampo no obetumi ɛde saa information wei akɔ hɔ anaasɛ dc anaa mce whistleblower yi ebetumi de saa nsɛm yi akɔdan wo na anammɔ no a ɛwɔ sɛ wɔn tuo no na wɔn atumi atu ɛni sɛ wohwɛ the whistleblowers act a nea ɛpa kyerɛ ne sɛ ɛsiane sɛ yɛmpɛ sɛ bɔne bɛsie ɛna ɛsiane sɛ wɔn a ɔmblo whistle obi wɔ ha ɔmpɛ sɛ yɛbɛhu no obi wɔ ha ɔmpɛ sɛ yɛbɛbɔ ne din because yɛbɔ ne din for security reasons nkyɛ no woanhwɛ a na ne ho akɔkyerɛ no obɛtumi kokoa mu na saa nkurɔfoɔ yi a melehyɛ mu nyinaa na wapass on information no de ama wɔn na anamotuo bi a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛtu ne yɛtu afa ho ɛwɔ saa mmara no nso so mu no yɛwɔ what is the protection sononko a yɛde ma every whistleblower biara ɛfa ɔno ankasa no ho ɛfa ne mma ho ɛfa ne yere ho anaasɛ ɛfa obi biara a wɔyɛ related to whistleblower no a wɔnim sɛ ebi a because of information a wɔde akɔma any of the unlisted persons no ho bɛtumi akyerɛ no anaasɛ his life is in danger no ɛwɔ sɛ ɔman no ɛtu anammɔn na yɛtumi ɛbɔ ne ho ban nti na in short no whistleblowers act no na ne tɔfa ɛno no ebia sɛ ɔwɔ question foforɔ a wopɛ sɛ wobusa a wobɛtumi abusa
lawyer questions in the bebree wɔn paa ɛno de yɛpɛ dɛ yɛsua de now this whistleblowers act no Demre Ezin Kanaka section 1A akyerɛkyerɛ the sections ni nyinaa mu ama yɛhu the information are qualified to be under the Whistleblowers Act no. Now the nyimpa ni secrecy another ɔkaka no obotum akasam no wobegum na we make an instance de bia mesusu de biribi recordo e wo bie bi ana baby nti I am calling on the appropriate agencies they want to anamon. Does that information qualify to be a whistleblower?
Okay, it was a whistleblower act, no. Oshasania and Ranicitia. Also, disclosure of impropriety may be made to anyone or more of the following. Listed one will be to me this information among. And as Oshasania, Oma crafted Emrana. And Kasa, it includes the moment here, every above Casamono, and Rabbi Kasa, it includes, no. Like I said, the list on is not exhaustive. Let's say, in Crawford view, and Marano, and for mansion. Until Ubetimi Ashana, Ebia, Ubia Mundin Wahanamono, Ubetimi the information, Ako Komano. But Osha Sania and Marana City, especially Section 3(1) of the Whistleblower Act now. Ama the list, no. There's a one who be to me the information akomono. Exhaustive. They can't exhaustive about tree casana say. Apart from one ya leti one dino. Ubiere anywhere ube to me this information, no. Akomano. Okay. In Tisana, that's what it means. Okay. Within the context here, Emrano, is canon and in specific reference to question Wabusano. Shana etie. But so any other questioner. Okay. And then so me actually.
So lawyer made to us if me were information and me were perceived information be was certain activity be in Kofa Wallace one, I need to go to them now misinformation to come on. But I mean to me press conference. Now we make certain allegations into the air.
Okay, so you as an individual and me as an individual. Mean to me but my memo exception. Okay. Exception are members of parliament. Members of parliament, you know. Also, omuno privileges and immunities be a cover omo. Yes. And also a quite be omo faso. Emma and ye may be bedadi. But I say, obetimi committee now what that's one. Obetimi draws our committee no attention. Committee be a no power or mandate to make inquiries into any activity. Okay. What I say. A constitution in a Canada. And year one. And I say two. As a member of parliament, and I input as an ordinary citizen of the land, ubit my petition at the Aquacoma, the Speaker of Parliament. My honors also I constitute a committee my in and no and so yeah. 2. And now I say 3. Because every member of parliament there were a queen. Say Obebusa, every minister pertaining to his sector, a question on the floor of parliament. Edia what TDB a Kosovo on TRCA and our Bonnie be Kosovo on TRCA. It borders on anything from A to Z. Obeting Afro minister now. Now, Obama said, my Yabusa question. Question is Yabusa question behind the scenes. Question open on the floor of parliament. Obia betini ashibi. Na Yabusa as a question. Unless say beer in the wisdom of the speaker, because speaker na eyana wa admit questions unless it be as a question border on Bibia a betimi endanger the security of the state. The banner Bia the speaker may decide say young friend minister no answer question and I say committee no so bit my friend minister no amanaba committee name my one abusano questions. On the other hand, so no every member of parliament here will quite a press conference. Whether in opposition or in power, by press conference. Then you may be a Kosovo, Benuma, Enyano, let's say modernity. Na aban no so anamo bi e wo sa aban no etufa ho na aban no atini etu afa ho. Enti minu mienu die ye different, but members of parliament, because of privileges and immunities here, I cover one tio and I'm to do her on between two minu me into. So that is the exception.
Oh, okay. So with the members of parliament, where does these privileges when they all end? Is it from apart from parliament, and do they also enjoy that privileges?
So privileges,
immunity, no.
And yes, every member of parliament enjoy immunity. Immunity, no, from arrest. Say, ultimately, in time, yet time, a bit much a member of parliament.
Okay.
And only privileges and immunities, no. And now, ultimately, so no, and fact court process. Bia and concourse, abra or commercial bedroom, and as we film commercial bedroom, befi. Okay, and I say, yentimi for so say on record no media dance. Emrano Emma Quinsa, but speaker at the guidelines biaba. Say dear said it's a message journey. Edi boni, nessa police penal action, and I call to Hiana. Speaker say Mumfa letter no famiso. Mumfa letter mean letter no enfamiso. Nasa member of parliament the corner Hiano. Na men draw attention to letter no. Na anamoa was a ono susu itu. Na wetimi etu. And the speaker at all material time stands on the head of the institution. It's one na enforce the privileges and then the immunities are cover members of parliament. And the moment the speaker Becca say, okay, Obana manye inti obi mutim otimiko anasa betim de nakono. Nature says immunities and privileges no. Nature say eno esriko. Na anamobi was yetimi the member of parliament first or near the faso. But I think say a son say any panel member of parliament no ujina homa a whole constituency only be a obeyera enyu be a obijane in a very civil and courteous manner no me imagine chere me say yemma sa nipa krone letter and now we can even call him on phone ya catch and say oh ya tese waka assembly asam no e bro ya dwene ye ntiase so ye pese oba na oba e be chichiri mu na ye nu nyina ni tu anamo ne ye investigation na ye hu asam no farabai esa anamo bi na ye betu afasa asam no so ne be ye bi nsi bi mu a na ye tu sa anamo media mi hu ni se ye ne sa na daboa enti ne tenten ni tiawa ne se e kwan a law enforcement agencies which made the word name ya fast one. A faster yet chi and as you omudi court crata be ever serve them. Members of parliament dear. Yana omudi no sono.
Okay. Now Lima remember this question. I mean and your native funyana your pedi issue be pa because in Sembiba because of politics into and to me and TRCA and Tinabri Yapade in common TRCA. Now when Honorable in Tim Fojo then recently press conference with regards to or your plain OBBC or my concron Ghana. Now recently yet the NIB wa konifi the arrest no. Now, as a member of parliament, information about to Abontino, yes, information about to Abontina, I mean, it's a security concern. Now, with this information about to Abontini, we are calling for a proof, another for evidence in Fambra. And with that evidence, you know, there, on for evidence in Bay, the security agency or Canada for the evidence. In that circumstances, the information at the bottom of Bonton and our evidence are edriba and our security will follow de obecho de for evidence for bra wo imbrem no even kwan na a member of parliament urban evidence based and now obotu abaka nsem bia de ato abonten because of the privileges and immunities are we enjoying in Tana.
Okay, so any nsem nyina na measure journey betimi aka say whether in parliament or outside parliament. It's a okay some let's say be no quarry let's say we said the quarry anymore. And no bone. I may say bedroom cramp it me try so okay any different. And yes how information obetimi dey beto abonte on suspicion and no bo ne be can say reasonable suspicion now the wuji di say sanity e nyema mi no ye di kan no onim say enya no kware and I would have a trouble just to score a political point. And the tossing, and our second one is a reasonable suspicion. And as only a colonel has a reasonable cause to believe, say, because of circumstances surrounding Asamano, say Asama already took a bontiano, a no quarry, and no buyer of the kind. Let's say he acted in good faith and not in bad faith. The Kokobana idea. Second one now we and it's a mukuram punes and yano quarry china swing because he reasonably believed that the work can yano quarry. As against first one, even right from the outset, no one said what can yano quarry and on the trouble. And yeah, and no, let's just say, what shada or shadan two true good depending. These two instances are different. But the American aka however honorable reverend issue on the say reverend ba out ebe kan sa asabam also president John Dramani mama ba out the can say obama security agents no collaborate with the reverend na no kware bi ewu mu bia no na oma find out enu na chile no na ade no etiki political path. There's a party back na party account. Inti investigation President Carr said initial incumbent investigation anya dan amasubi. E kokobana sa na say every political party they are taking entrenched stand. Anyway, we aka. But enka beginning enka omo etu sa na bo na fair reverend. Oh, Reverend, in a very polite manner, without any threats. So, as a member of parliament, you say, because on one case, Reverend, he knows the implication of Abiadnia or Nanka friend. Nanka, ono so abwa. Now, what children tia or car say. There are two flights now a buy omudi inuboni any money laundering a buy. Next say a 200 one say a no quarrier. Na who next time and a more a bit home. And no quarries also next a kokobase he made such statements in good faith here without any political colorization. Next the next idea to do her idea man. It's the next thing Indiana also so out about the casa when I'm sending obisi akano. To me give and key and sa and no yes and say ye issue threats and I back no quarantine train and I no quarantine so no. As I say ye kind of quarantine about you won't even go TV so and Coco Case Nientia me Case. Flight na buy no the woman a balance company as a member of parliament no you haven't been responsible enough that's who expose you or minor to the ridicule of the international community and I think say oka say enya dia obema evidence no abontino na menene ya dwene because na obi enim information kura no me say minim information a ekura ni biem ɛna obiara nso ne hɔ a onim information a ekura no but sɛnea wohwɛ sɛnea na wosi insist sɛ asɛm a meka no mu nyinasoɔ no na nka wo sɛ nka security agencies no frɛ no ɛwɔ kukuo mu in a very respectful manner without any threat sɛ yɛne yɛbɛkyew ne yɛbɛkyew ne yɛbɛkyew ɛba no saa saa na ɔno nso ada no ho so because mmerɛ mu no the moment a wobɛkyew obi a wobɛdeclare ne suspect no wontumi mfɔɔso no ma ne nkasa wontumi mfɔɔso no ma ne ma evidence obetumi aka sɛ okay moakyerɛ me mate meni asɛm bi a meka kyerɛ mo mode mo mmienu court na mekɔka masɛm mpo ɛduru court koraa mpo no a mmara no kyerɛ sɛ accused person bi no ɛtumi fɔɔso no ma ne kasa ɛno wontumi nhyɛ ne sɛ ɔnkasa so ade aseɛ ɔpaa no ɔkasa ɔpaa ɔnkasa nti me mmom deɛ I think sɛ the whole move no ɛne sɛnea yɛti handle asɛm no yɛhandle no yie koraa na nka ɛwɔ sɛ nka yɛto ɛbo ase na yɛyɛ nhwehwɛmu ansa na ɛbɛba out aba bɛyɛ de political statement a ɛba bɛyɛ no ankɔba sɛ na ateki political trend no obiara ka deɛ wɔpɛ nti na I think sɛ me mmom deɛ aban a wote akonnwa no soɔ no at all material times party a opposition here they always want to score a political point emra na MPP were them NDC did the same thing NDC did the same thing honorable Kujeta Blakwa hwe no de aba bontin say no kware ayehwehwemu bie no okazo kwa akɔkye no and a party in opposition this is what they are expected to be doing but enkonkoba say ebia ubashada etwantro was some security implications that were by so banisa and then so now you would have come too far into minimum the part in power the BCN ought to be proactive and very patient because when you're patient that's okay would there be any you want to respond you want to issue threat one shot or minor to move and we need to be very careful in whatever we do in whatever we say.
So you think that with the part information another in some offer no sisano adducing evidence crampono or bedin
adduce evidence and then sincerely it's a minimum strategy honorable team for journey MPP as a party no atiki say wa woma koho so mu koho minim but omu kasa obekɔhɔ na okwa I think say nia ɛwɔ sɛ ɔka ɛne nia ɛwɔ sɛ ɔdwo and information bi a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔde mu bia I think that is ready to give it out to them na ɔmo so gyina ɛno no so ayɛ investigation because the woman ever cast a threat to the extent that any did not come crown back but as means information bi a mo bia no means I will hold on to the information me fa mamo ɛne mo pa ne yɛn court na ma ten bi as a tension about balance also you as a government and agenda that when you are opposite where the key to nothing no you are distracted from that agenda no I'm sure but that's already no 4 years now some back up your drag for 4 years so what's our final now there was a time they were very careful
now even so there honorable intim for your or a member of interior committee another a ranking member our interior committee or parliament he could have as well channeled this information through the chairman or the committee now as well invite the appropriate agencies to come and then answer questions so we so free the medium or the in some about to abontino or to transfer kakra
also yani ankasa amanyofo no we are the cause of maybe a party in a position so a party in power no we say here one or two examples be emrana MPP wa ben no yani ankasa ye president Dramani mama a political platform so ka say emre bia MPP wa ben no boko entokwa sorry the MPP fra ben mu a na boko ntokwa ajai ye meka wata ase
okay
ma yanunti eye boko eye sabi ye nuanum kusatofo Omumpanyim for ba out be din secretary say e catch because as mu bi anto abama and parapa do na antoma in some polling stations cramp on MPP nya zero. And now because e bokonto ka say ntwai. Omugu so omoku ntwai. And then we politicize it because of political expedience. Another example it was me, for both MPP and NDC. You were Bemwa, Yen Shayen Semi, your opposition in Semi, Galamse say, they politicized the NDC council mobile Bemo within a week. On the stop, Galamse, ma, Omu, a insight, a man for crumble, Momu court demonstration, the Chia, can't be in Lusu. And a Galamse, a torch another it won't try, Mpu, Nancy, Oma Baba Casse. Galamse kun enya dako kun enya na otwe kun enya bosome kun eya afebo kun dabena ye realize say galamse kun eya afebo kun example tosumi ensa eya honorable ablakwa emma na MPP wa ben ensem bie no wan kan fa president ensem bie ni ho a wan kan fa jubilee wan kan fa president but as a member of parliament, so a member of parliament, no, and obetini a catch committee now what that's on said the meeting in June. And I'm going to commit my petition. That my speaker said, and some are my information many in the young fair Minister for Foreign Affairs because in Pinan in some not a border on foreign affairs matters. Young fair Minister for Foreign Affairs, near to Tonano, near with some questions. The fun same year. But wanyana sa na or running some na man for fire na ekutia na yanishu nti obi be kan say what is good for the goose is also good for the gander say sa na we di dia that is not to say it's right to sa na we di dia na yenso so no yenso ye the same thing ebedimo nti na me ka say amanyofo no ye amanyofo no wo say you're very, very careful and circumspect. When the same guy attack whilst in opposition, it's under I need him in Quario. You're that's why you intimate yet. And so you better go a banner or testimony fin. Send your bear a binding bellusu. Now you so you better not when you saw. But not when you 2 years based on your day. There come be and no so. I say, LGBTQ1 class. I hope the bar some pa mra na MPP Tiakunyamu. The president so on sign. Na NDC de ba sign. And NDC aba. LGBTQ plus what in video. And 2 was in the mafia story na sa. So that I never do ha unia bemua na say bi abani ka ho asma na abani 2 na mowa e was say sabi we are very careful with singing other because abama e de bo techi no enwa na yedi ebebo ba entimi mum de akutu as a politician as a former member of parliament in akutu na e was say yedema and I also think that before na nkasa ye no so no. And some people who necessary among your phone can also telling me. My young win because over the catcher and say, me say Galam say about within a week, you best stop on medium so boy. Only me stop on because Galam say no, a very complex and very, very difficult problem to deal with. Because one more Galam say mono, a titsu, a sikafo. Omu tumi politicians wom asofo wom ahemfo wom businessmen wom anything man for no so do an so wom so kaza wo wudi within a week e ba be kon e galansa na je ja grobi na wudi it's not possible but ye kan ya ma timamu fon do no gidi say no kware say said you end this ba on betima galansa so galansa it's not an easy fight. I'm telling you, it's not an easy fight. Because interest a woman person. And a sika you to know, any sika for no, and the powerful people within the society, never mono. So, Okasa, oh, fan were buying a jumum, Actually, and Kabosumi 10,000 Ghana cedis, 20,000 Ghana cedis, because Sabi, on a human or in a Numa by a day, 20,000 hour demand a month, and they do bit mania. You all know, just a deal, 20,000. Now, what's a Bosumi in no command of 10,000 or 20,000, because on a lifestyle, no assets. ABA can what Range Rover with them, what Land Cruiser them, we see the fee, and I will see the fee. Now, on what in over chain, Bosumi, Mamma, 20,000. And the only thing was, I'm talking your friend of Galamsey fight, no. And idea, you do a D, and a two, and I need tobacco, a political party, a bit me, I decided to see what that. Just say, Timamufuni, no, you can't boom. Eh, I'm about politics free move, and Sana Galamsey, Yako. Otherwise, it's going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible.
Honorable, the main instance, I mean, Kefua, and Asha, and the Yabebo Drubia, Yedri, or send Obia or oppositioner, Ofido Oscar political agency, at Adibia or the Oyebia, the government of the day, to paint the government black or to bash the government, to make the government unpopular. On and they enable Drew and Pempenda Yedri.
That is exactly the case. Because the party will position, that's a party with power. Party will power. Or person or your man who are corner. And she has sent you back a can. Now, man, why a corner. Party will position, or not to be two and back a can some. Then a bear or no social party and a social who by a corner. But in between side these two political parties, there was a yank before, and I was a draw the line between the two because parties didn't were perfect. Parties meaning it didn't were perfect, and there was a way the historical antecedents of the two political parties. Oh, what about that? We just what about that? Saying a way, the way, and to make sure party we have party we are beginning to way moment a bit to me abwa because now so a winning party being one answer any no party being soon we can say from the time a party in the better now so after time a party in free some the party has never been incompetent in one way or the other. A denia political party give back no at a point in time or by idea is very, very incompetent. So what I say. But that is not to say so we say a new party na party na modern. Me there be say NDC and more Canada. I won't say that though I don't belong to NDC. And now me so me there be because NDC but na kunya 8 years near nye bonita. Ye wonye me do why ye amwaye. And untina and a opposition. So what I say. But that is not to say to come out and say party no nyeshi. Ebu sikadi nkwa na party na bebedi party ni amwa omane da ni mum de o kasa asem kyerɛ me a wo say e bugu anase dia store bi na o kan that is not to say party no enkrofo enyina saint. That's what I'm saying. Sanya NDC emu no untim nyo mu nyina 100% no saa na MPP mu so no untim nyina 100% nti ne tintin ni tiawa no say yen yan kasa timambo ya manyofo no ye kan samwa there was a ye very careful when some ya kan so all the man e koso e wo veteran NDC time MPP time and send be no kan was in opposition omunya ministerial positions ya ye free omu ba vetting committee ani after the normal backtrack ya and ye na ye can keke because of politics in ye can keke. But somehow it has a very serious political implications. So as I say, if somebody company can be a defamatory. Well, it's a way go in your fee. I no company and Bremen waiting. I between the court. It applies to the NDC. It applies to the NPP. They also would need to be circumspect. Senya, ya man your son. father. The men say na in opposition was here. Ye nim say enye no pare. So ni akane egu aban ne hu fi. Say na aban hu be ye hi. No ma lusu na yen so etimi aba. Enti aba na de bo techi no. Eno a na ye de bo ban. Afero be say na ban so yi so say ade na wo de aba na bo me. So ni we fi say emra na odi aba no ebo techi no. Woni mi say ban so be ba on so de aba na bo no. Politics we are not azanity.
Honorable Mijao Mako, but been free there some years back. Politics are na okodo ewo Ghana no. Now with a new energy, there we are losing the sense of that political pride. At what point do we have to draw the lines?
Also, Sabini Premuni, but I believe in traditions and culture. In traditions and culture to the extent they are conflicted with the religion. And the same thing applies to every Christian. Yeah. So if we keep going, fair or he be nana kwabna inketia the feet.
Anu Esikado.
Esikado,
yes.
Very good. That's the Western region.
Yes, Esikado.
What your book could be African culture in governance and development. African culture in governance and development. It's a very good book. What can me toughen and say emrofo legacy na ye inherit ye no o mama mre no mama mene o mama mre no mama nie any mo institutions no any senia sabi bibidi esi dwene no ye bibia koye very Eurocentric ne say akoye se broni bibia broni etinia ye nananom edit tea no ya mama ni amanya afi tuni nyina twene because ye nim say e was akwada bu penyini e was any kwasa akwada etwantro e was Ghana ni odon yonko Ghana ni e de krampo Bible mu e wo Quran mu. We believe in communalism. Say bia unu ebi ho kyere na also timi boa na enkane na ye sore no wo ya akwada na se ufufie bi na se udi bone wa abonti su ni timi bo ene sukuu mu ye se ye mu kwada obu akwada e se ye offense enti ama enkwada na ekuskusi se no mu sei ye peso around 1980 1993 mu okro in University 1998 we call Prempeh College 1991 to 1993. Prempeh College na me A level no. Sa mre no, the headmaster ehun wa bonten anajo. RT Saki ohun wa bonten anajo. Na sa de chia ye ba assembly o da me efrew. Na ye di enkunya tables ti ho ne afro na ye de wato so. Na mema kantinka mienu asonsa mienu so aso nan ya la show udi agoso ne yodi ana samre no me de meka say is extreme but e boa ye ma ye be ye very disciplined oh say one kwa family here chiwa your punishment at the mouth but you see because of bruni a lifestyle in Tanzania menyina ye twem enya dia e boa ye it be bia ye bia na ye too Eurocentric. Bruni align so na ye no at the expense of our traditions and culture no. Ya na enya man mwaye. And na uhwe Facebook so na na ekoso akwada. Listen na udidi penyini patem. Udidi sofatem. Udidi malam atem. Udidi president atem. Udidi minister bi atem. Udidi na tem poto asa na akwada. I don't think that is the way to do our politics. Anything said the politics na ye no. I said no quiet choda no nim choda ibu nim choda intro because we are throwing away our customs and traditions ɛyɛ den ɛde na ayɛ nti ne mmom deɛ saa na me seesei ne ho no nti sɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛ cleanse yɛ political landscape from ebi a ɛde di atɛm ntoro ne propaganda ne nneɛma na ɛkɔ so no a I think that we need to change our mindset. We need to change our mindset. Now, I think that Timamufonos don't have a very big role to play. Now you hold Amanyofono to account. And then say, na Amanyofono can was GD. Because on war can get to square political player. What you say, na you do so some news as some papa can be as said you a 12 sumu and as a 12 sumu. As some ya ben can be and cabani ni say and cadabwa. And some are ben can be said in 12 sumu. Say, Timamophonia and who do the political class into account. They said, you we believe them, hook, line, and sinker. I'm sure bedroom maybe no. Baby, our mind could do, to be frank. Study of mine is chrono. And yeah, it's not good at all. Kakram in the canon.
All right. Honorable, Ariabri, Yandasi Bibri, Obra, Enyanese, Amen. In fact, Enyanese in Komopa, and Yadasi, so in there every permanent, a Bessana Boa who may be na Yasin is Komo, and see Yadasi.
And you miss me, the check it because we
all right.
Salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Alaji. All right. Ebusia, in common in fact, yes, in Komo Bebre, Yanyi Honorable Alhaji Abdallah Ben Banda, and Honorable Alhaji Ben Abdallah Banda Esquire, former member of Parliament, ma offenso abatu empesodo ena yenyinikizi enkomono ewo insensama orokodo. We needed clear understanding of, because people are raising whistleblowers act and you draw the distinction that at what point in time na information qualified to be a whistleblower, and what are the process and honorable the process and the honorable in team for your statement, and does it qualify to be a whistleblower or not? Meji de waso za in some ahrowa honorable Ozi Atuga, former MP for Offenso South Constituency, Honorable Alhaji Abdallah Banda. Mamucha Mombra, meba, mamo the opportunity na onso etumne romibi na yezi in komo. But mamin kamfo or ye game park cool chop and famo. Game park cool chop de men control. Now no opportunity no ye buchu bebri kwa zemo ende area bri inti yanya this small exercise for mobile phone no dial star 946 hash, pick one na ebotum are multiplying by 26 to or 30 times of your stake. Get me? Ebotum are multiplying by 20 to 30 times of your stake. And then they dial star 946 hash. Now be part of our game pack cool chop. Charlie, you for chop, oh. You for chop because my sister and your no also and ya and share NDB, so you for chop on a market channel. Mamma Homanuntum now on Subramibi, a high Kastle 90.3 FM. And there is Shiade. I say, on your mamma, your phone, or king na no sade yajitum. As electorate, as citizens, we need to draw the lines. Now, you hold our politicians accountable. Good afternoon.
What I said this man.
I'm going to see.
But what for me?
Yamiadum Pocha won't say.
I'm not my money. I'm the man capacity. Yeah, Japan. Bringing us more nine. Or then your dog may own Sunday party back. Not back and the Odyssean. The mountain is full back. About Katia now for not there at the now queer in Birmingham. So I'm in Yabotam. Now, I'm for that more quiet near correction crack. It is from my coin. Last week, told the mayor or among one. Or to that, done in you, Mama. Nadia will eat such a month. Look at the blue time, you might. Only that. Let's see. Maybe done in one of your my. What about kitchen? What about them program and make kitchen? Now, Mamma, my kind there. Nadia was the one was small, there's no one point foreign rights. You can see my cousin Chagan, if I work at some dinner, I stand back. There, why not be the enemy kitchen or no, my small can I know. Not the man term for the maybe you.
Okay.
It's a mature.
Okay.
So that's it.
I'm going to see, and so, yeah, that's it, baby. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Evo. Yamiadumo na unsoe.
Honorable Apenyo marking a statement. Okay, we 88 minority, but we have a
mighty minority, Anna.
Yes. Only you know, them on Kofuno, one MPs will blow parliament, it's a Frank Danadon press, not a Molaka. Measure a good area for a Ponkuma, not a Molaka. Today, when you know, we are way. Evidence. But if you watch the government on your visit, no real share if you are no quara and no quara. It's not my honorable last time, margin I could have reviewed there. If you are working, maybe I want the government not for the education or the Babano, so I no quara, no to a category, they know when you no quara. Because Musu, what great minimum, why you beat that. Into working there, want to Ebia more, you know, Empano Quaro Pambra, no to open evidence and open touch. Ebia, I'm not sure. But the Ebia or friend, after Jim over the home, I'm a gentleman. Fine. But never Rambo Saro. Me, you said the MPs in Channel, when you now have a poor parliament, when you now have a parliament, none they were defense. No, I'm an old Pamba can now get an angle to you. Me, you said when you are waiting out there on Papa.
All right. Maso, better say. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
We on my hood there. Maybe a piano. Or there, Emma Winnie Bohondo. Now, which may be a piano. Just now, because say, I'm my food to mamma, and any panty, my Tonaco, bonnet with radiating. Now, on mine, so be I did your uncle on my Ghana, and your best rest at Ghana. Mamma Ghana, who ye na ɔman mfasodie ne mkruntumbrem ɛma yɛ chimba osan sɛ anhwɛ nneɛma bi yɛ wɔ Ghana amanyɛfoɔ bɛkeka ka yi trouble etie nsɛm a wɔkeka ya na mpo amanyɛfoɔ na keka enipa tiri bobom aban ne yɛ ade mpo sɛ wɔka asɛm gu no fi sɛnea aban foforɔ bɛba na ɔba bɛgye tobi saa nneɛma no ɔmboa ɔmmɛwurade nhyira Ghana mɔmɛ yɛ ahwɛ yie na youth a yɛaba yɛn yere yɛn ho ɛwɔ yɛn kɛse yɛ abrabom ama yɛn sa yɛ dɛ akɔ ano ekodi ama yɛ bi ne kyerɛ asɛm bi to a enya kamafo onyankopɔn ne yɛ dwuma bye bye
Maso meda say onyankopɔn nyɛ waso ɛyɛ dwuma. All right, mefa. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jesman.
Alaji.
Now, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, wa bongo kunilo. Jesman. Ana asama red verketing. Mano woman is away. Ana kipu pen and kupina watching kipu san onyano pala. Ma watching the tap onyano pala. Pleno busy 5 days onyano pala. No matter what sinya Lady Bayen in a Ghana for your pay yet. Even support for your allegation. I'm not a pen in the yard one, but you pay the Ghana opening. In a Ghana for your pay yet, as the all cogo one rap in the one. It's the government, most of the day in there, now we win the woman in this opposition. But Castrian, playing Naya Commonte ye. Up of Bonapana, a pendant for a reverend wire. And there, a Kuja Chabra, or allegation there, ex-president, Akufado, Ogoli, was no Kuja Chabra, no Jinayepa. Ogoli claim no Jinayepa. The son make allegation. But one thing. Yesterday, done or Canadian, just wrong, and money I am mono. And in yet to Yamba, rob your money in a yet woman, in party gala, no Muslim will party gala. No Mungan and a woman mochi a mere Daniel. Manzama Rokan on Nepapum, Yabaka, Lebon Musu, Yabaka, but that's a mission.
Yeah, I mean, sure, also Alhaji, Ebusia ask for messages in the Fabre 02444 40804 60244 408 from Nayanzin Como. Good afternoon.
I'm coming, Suman.
Papa.
But your home today.
Price and Adumon Pochawas.
Oh, Yami Adam. But already 2 for him because of connection junction.
All right, 2 for me too.
Yeah, the upper pay of a casse, Yasi. Though I bet church and same in the train. In some potu, maybe said there, ma, Reverend Robert King, or a whistle blow another Ebanazi. If it is an asama, or in a Macasama minority, it is an asama, no Macasama committee, and I'm not KO 2. It is a pretty busy day, or a whistle blower, another. No, capacity do. Kakam pedamite if you want, Madasi.
Hey, I'm a demon to me,
and you if it ain't some no all canon. Also, then or the committee do. If it's also on Casama committee or Casama a minority, no. If it ain't some Naka 2, you're pretty young. More all canan Kasa. In the end, proposal or Casa fine, but told you, baby, now. Well, I shall politics in the room. I na wala chana in ye kakamen I Madasi.
All right, that's it. Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Kugu.
Abani
okay, Aban Minto.
Na we are going to be here wabo ko for no minti o ida o ke ka so especially abayamu a na assure solution we be more too. Nene je o fa am kamina. Ebe pele nka kim no kan ne nka ne ka bi o kan yo revenue but I look at press conference no here because he was kind of committee rank committee we can and all that kind of work it's a press conference but you next to be again law yes when I Ghana for them but the whole committee part and call it na if you this one am for 1 year it's not that we one Ghana for me, but I don't care if you want to
okay, where I say good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, ma'am, I feel Papa. Do more radio, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Important you, or ye pa.
You. Master, Master. Nah, yeah, be someone is you,
and you might see.
The matter may be impediment to you. Them you see the containers, no, you will now. One will be nay, be so on and baby. On a paper, what I walk up for them. I would say, well, I drew 1 hour when I said, the matter me okay, do my way, them containers made to there. Oh, I have planned to know. Now, say, would be there. What fraud, I mean, I miss Milko with the meat to Olivia. Madame is the moon, the door, and a quarter of Muna. I am one put a milk first for my cat on the meat to Olivia, the Matacama, Wapati, Bapona. Now, what flowers am alone for? What will we now party supporters? Why could you get a no woofy? And the dimension was TV, not to you. Why are you such a kind of way using? When this together, Punala. What for that containers now you way now? Want to, but the way. Well, where you Diana, the containers, and would have some where your containers and can hold on in nature. Emma, you want to know why you and someone here what do I do?
Okay. But that's it. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Kweku.
Yes,
All right. Me too.
Abume.
Nyame adumo na won so e.
Yes, Abume. I do. The customer, man, doing, and monkey, and I wait for the party. Then maybe I didn't know I am sure. That's all. Nama, second, when I call, I drop on first there. Play number, that's that. No more, I just put here, play number, and I'm going to one. And I'm going to come. I don't, play number, yeah, as a woman, I can't wait to know. I'm a woman, I don't really like this, you know. But I do all those. It's a meter. I blame my bless. For some time. So, you know, we can tell him, we can tell him why you. It's Mama, someone. When they will bring that up. Let me tell you, you see, you know, the that's it.
Nyame enka waso waso botuma baby 0244 408046 0244 408354 Easy inkomo ewa ha. I hear Kastle 90.3 FM. Me man hodo. And I yeda here today. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yes, man.
Yes, boss.
I'm going to taxi driver Mori.
All right.
Yeah, yes, man. I honorable Kuya at the time I did them a unit about in his number in an quite. A trainer and another of one I know. Then I jump on hotel and water and I know. Yeah, and the former president and another one. I'm also be been why I could for. As I'm looking at the home bar, what's it? Yeah, them not say. Abakasa na what's for evidence bra Elugwan akwanyepa. Now I know kadama wa hobiana. I'm taxi driver me passport am to kono. Onu no to kwa UK obobon search. Anam na na asma wa kenti. Omna wo yobiana. The man was here John Mahama first time. But afi asema wa ebeka bia no e mama is evidence aba. Years back was your mama or you got this up or any DK or any wakaka nsem gu na ima asibebre ni na ayen kwa na wasama start bem masa oyankubo na mazika o asem kom gu build ma ehuna ma na em na ndai o ana ya mi no wu yodan wati ase ma obeye bia wo susu bia na oni nkesi aga da ase
Maso where I say. All right. Wasu bremi bia. On che bia ma begwa for no betina say. What's nasa ya the conversation babra one. But every year over into wasu butumi room 0244 408046 0244 408354. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
yes, sir.
If you come from me.
Okay.
Papa, you small became. Me panu baby. So then, the honorable. The main issue all channel to Parliament. And then we hear that about press conference. Because press conference the man. I said about to two NDC party no na government president no na about to turn us. The bogu no hofi. Ekuje to abrakwa libya na wa ordinary reference ekuje to abrakwa onu oje enyim kan le onu de our evidence. Onam do our evidence na wentum wan dan biare ntum an challenge. Nam na adenete enti se no kwasam no di owo hɔ a ɔdɛka na mmom asɛm a ɔnyɛ nokwa no mankaka na mfa nka hwɛ ghanafoɔ no this time no obiara no nyɛ eboyi o nyɛ ma ɛbɛkɔ akaka gedi kɔgu yanko no ho fi no ɔna ɔbɛyɛ dan bɛma wo ayɛ famous nti dɛm na asɛm no se nti this time no biara ka asɛm yi a ɔndwene ho nkɔ akyiri dɛ asɛm a mɛkakan ne sunsando ɔde dɛm ɔbɛyɛ dan ankan wa kaka meda wa sipi Yesu na nyɛ adwuma pa
aso meda se papa da wonsu etum na egbe room ɛwɔ hɔ. All right, ebusɛm ntum fa afrɛfo bi abio for now. Ebripem no masane ebu ya homa na amɔ da wonsu abem na is in komo ma me you message kakra mfem free hɔ na mentwa mo ho bra Good afternoon, Kwamina. Please, sometimes you need to play the African poet twice or more. Greetings to Mr. Kumahuda Taylor. Listen to you live inside a futu. This is from Kobna Taylor. All right. Kobna, Marty, I see you are the host. You know the government, the airport company, and AirMed has told the world what the plane came for. You saw the video, yet you allow your caller to say nothing has been said about the plane by the authorities. You read the AirMed letter yesterday. Oh, okay. But that's it. Oh, so dear. As the Abba. Oh, okay. But me share a issue ha na men can inform. Okay. Ebusama buntwa mombra. Meba mempen fo atena se. Ankrato na afi Nuruddin Kobna Isa onyina no atena sa ebezi nkomo. Enti motwa mo abesisi a me you kese fini mfimfiri. Hi Kastle 90.3 FM. I'll be back.
Ridge Royal Hotel, Second Reach Cape Coast. Rooms smell so fresh and clean with cozy and comfortable beds. A gym and swimming pool for your recreation and relaxation. And the food. Buffet served every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, alongside fast foods like sandwiches, pizzas, and pancakes. That is simply delicious. Ridge Royal Hotel offers you the best half and full day conferencing packages. Indeed, that's a perfect experience for you in the Asian's capital, Cape Coast, and my go-to place anytime, any day. Visit ridgeroyalhotel.com.gh on the web or call 031-2003-222 or 050-1672-908 for more. Ridge Royal Hotel, richly inviting and comfortably yours.
And said the entry in Amkania. It's in a grofoni Jihosano. Say home appliances and Kwana Opedia. To Hisense. Now fear but dawase. Hisense. Everyday prices for everyday people.
Ghana, are you ready for some cool chop? Game Pack Pick 1 multiplier is now bigger, from 26 times to 30 times. Play Pick 1 Pick 4 in at least 2 of the 3 daily draws, and you get a free 2 Ghana City bonus. Dial star 946 hash to start playing now. Game Pack is regulated by the NLA. Play responsibly.
Alright, Ebusama, Mr. Mo akwa baby o. Hi Kastle 90.3 FM. Akato.
Demsik.
Akwaba.
Yedua na so.
Nyame adumo bibi abokoze.
Nyame adum bibi aboko na so.
Bibi aboko. Ya wa ho odini ade na nyame za ache ye. Yes. Commander. Okay, yeah, krona. Commander Akwaba.
Yenua.
Bibi aboko.
Nyame ntide impa adache.
Yes. Ya da me ase. All right. Intebusa egbowura nkomo no mu na yakọ n'enim bara pada ye hyase yezi free aha na yeziko on the Boko issue, and His Excellency wakasa ze afa ho that the Otumfo mediation process will resume next week. Ninyano fa recently za asan asor el Boko ene da yehuni that even police barracks in Krampo Odija akotum elho damaso and a majority leader in parliament, part of his house nusu Odija akotum elho per the record and per information about 2 years down the lane, nimpa by 300 na ewo Boko issue no wahwe wane enkwa elho. What is actually the problem, and is it politics? Akamai de binumodi sim anama Boko issue no yenya the answers to the whole problem now. What is actually the issue? Commander.
Yes, sir.
Ma mensha simfri odo. I mean, Boko issue ni de yenya yenyim oyaza watina wachar. I mean, what are we not doing right? Now no, it seems that I don't know, at every point in time now escalate.
Well, I mean, Incha, Unquankra, or Tejumeze, we are brave. Mauna, I do not for one decision, one Jimayado.
Yado, I do not for one decision.
For Quenja Dosana Incha, Unquankra, of Bitube, 1 years in common. Be the far onion, who to watching Adrian Genado. Papa be minimano. But I make a say. No, Piacha Day was started on Monetam 1995 when I was a guest, more or less, artist or Radio Central Islamic program. Say, Mijina Quenja do Namada, Obibia, Ufibri to Bruno, or him is in common, Madame Wanasi. Na Massa wants to to them away and I was send the Bibi a mucha win trade no was send down. But I want to break. This one no quay Manshada more about the genesis of the Boko crisis. Nti makan to them at surface. But they be a obadode ya dev into it maye. My young mind there, President Mahama, knew the situation at Boko. So it is on record there, Oba Benami say, Nchaya can ye pa, where one of the first areas are Otachi. Nti Otachi in the interest there, Obama, there no way to sabasino koyinara none better than Obobazi. Baby, oh yeah, wow, I drink kakran there. Most of the narratives suggest there, oh yeah, the political parties. I hear na yama bokuno ujina bibi ujina yi. Nti, minim the approach the yane a hina kasa kura owa hia manemu mfandam ekwana oba fada was a settle the case, but because your history one approach we yendizin yemdo bu use the same strategy, maybe a different one oba fit. Because that was every situation has its own approach and procedure. Until you hope there obey than Obaba. Now, more politicians in Hanazan, on na, you see, no matter the strategy, be at the mediation team, what's about Kwano. If the side of the politician, so shut down we appear. There be a buna confusion, Baba. Yem there. Yane majority leader. I want no fee. Na the two fashions na mami fikwer na papa fikwer. Nti sende waka attack on sinifia. Or suggest there indeed politicians you will role to play, or the ye fee. Whatever the issues are in Boko, ye fee wa, boy. Just looking at the attack on the member of parliament. Oh my, I want them a dream of what's me there. Or young politicians in the Yarian. My dream yama there. There's some level of what? Truism in them narration. Nti, wada hi moment ya fast. You see, that other thought, if I school of thought, one of them, chade. So, okaban there, and this were power. Now, because you were power, nti, you using it to my yawo. Now you didn't go for mima. When there's a change of government, the monk of Fonso feel that you need to also have to retaliate. another school of thought. Also there, the Boko crisis are more complex and complicated than what we thought. It be more readings, no Bob Wahin. But for now, you welcome the decision of the president, i.e., Otumfo no committing on intervention. In fact, I am more than necessary. Now, I'm there with the visit of the president. We don't have to witness some of these things. But if we are still witnessing them, then it means that there are more to it than what we see. Maybe the security agencies also by now. So in most of these crises, you wonder what's there. Even the security agencies in Amponibia no be a side obi. And we ask you sometimes when they see you, you no there and you'll be a fire.
Free day.
The buna wa done about wasodo.
Okay.
That people like that. Inti I want to say buna wa keda when I am when you be na so what's another line I done wazaba. So how complicated the situation is mentioned down more. But when I saw my yard easy, I think that the approach from the president and the security or the security architecture of this country, now him politicians, I him politicians, I know a politician, I am so young there. It get to a point out, although it move there, let it go. But I want all the stage be one, or did it to me in your kukudas though. Because we can't continue to do the same thing at the same time.
Because I mean, I remember President Mahama one administration. He tried fighting this issue when 2 months solved. His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, Nusuni administration, well yes, I will to me bia. Now Onyido Mahama 2 Abba still the issue to the extent that yesterday police barracks they had the courage to even set ablaze police barracks.
Jim there a kid that in somewhere last year or so. Also, there was some tension as a result of the national security when VATB they nearly vandalized it. Also, in the northern part of our country. Why there over attacking the security? That's why I gave you that instance there. Obutumwa there, even in the security setup there, Ibibutum Onimobi. How close you are to the person who wields that power as a security person? That alone. Obutumama impono jenchisa on watch there. And why wabana oboba in I banan. I there elbow kono benejami.
So made to see the security architecture, the leadership of the security architecture in our countries will need to be looked at.
No, you see the moment I ye were here where how Nebia manu de suminado mansedam poncha why na BBC. So BBC na the security for abada obobo hen ho ban. Ahuna obobo hen ho banan. Abada na obobo ma hit memufun. Yemu binum be take the decision that they attack them security. I have as an over. And there's no fire without smoke. Or smoke without fire. There is no smoke without fire. The moment we will take decisions. So just pick these two instances. The attack on the member of parliament. Then the attack on the police barracks. These are security people. The MP is a political figure. So the moment you see that they are attacking such key installations or institutions, it means that something is wrong somewhere. So the MP is a politician. And the politicians and other young say then, how we handle the Boko crisis. Only a one. But these are my own observations listening to our now when you na world cabin. The second one is the attack on the security. What did the security do wrong? Not to know warrant that attack on them. See, so in these two sectors, these two key institutions, the politicians and the security, how we will navigate our way out of this crisis. So, anya mediation butuma akoda maybe I book Kenyan can Solomon Pomoaba, a boon still, nay to me achieve what we are looking for. Become painful there. So, pum and can no qua, no one another say then, him. So, you need to look at the source of the problem. With all the mediations, if the politicians and the security apparatus are doing their own thing, it's one so, for me, since I don't know much on the surface or the surfacery of the whole thing, this is how I see it. If we're able to handle this too with the mediation, I think Yankupon Boyna will get to the solution.
Orokwe, do you foresee anything escalating more than this? If we this roadmap or 2-4 coming in, the security also, I mean, or failure, do we see any escalation in the near future?
In terms of must start the Macade, I today say our yam and na or Chinamino Tumbu Michira Mayobi. That is what I see is happening. And I gave you the other school of thought. I was complicated. I was them. But listening to them, Mami when you're there, if care is not taken, I'm looking at the security for them attacking you. Whatever you do, the security maybe are not. Okizo bin in China, no, you be Casantino, Binu Fu Mobayadam. Honestly, that's in the room. You do me, I do you. There's an attack on the MP. No, so what supporters. It's a mechanism. It will get to a point. The moment I wanna work attack it, so I also win opportunity. They also go after the person. That's why I'm saying that all the time, we should let it go. But maybe there are more to it than I hear some yegu inside here was one by anybody in basin. There are more to it than what we hear. Other than that, you walk around. Yaba, or ya zikupeo. Say, side the be ankade. Wait me wu, a bien. Musumezine wo kor. Nemum, mobaye tutun, ewa. Yenje monka. Say, if we don't get that point, that is where. So, if it is about chieftaincy issues, then the Otumfo angle comes in. But I'm saying that the politician, the security apparatus, and when na if you play along with other side, need jebia is then yaw. Ntebuna Pakonos will be forced to come out. And these are the areas we need to be looking at. Whatever you're going to be as a peace council for we can invite all the agencies who are into peace. But if some of these institutions, the politician, the security agencies, if it's a one in the yang kaya there, young shayimpa, now smoje, no more kaya de be a me pianist, ya. And I think that is what we should be looking at.
All right. Commander, but as Angato. Yeah, and the president Wasana Kasafa or Boku issue no home. From next week, the Otumfo mediation process, Obe San Pejano Mobile on the Boko issue no. Mean too.
At this moment, I say, Mamma can the mean share if I would say, oh yeah, Kastle FM, Mobia Georgia, my bro.
Yeah, bro.
the issue through conflict is about decades. And yet a years or decades even travel up to the 1950s. Now, a very important question be but people think that any opportunity now and you want power, play politics with it. But the reality will catch up with you.
Was there a political play with the Boku issue?
Of course, the year 2024, year election. I'll give you one example. Typical example, Alhaji Ahmed Sorogo was in Boku telling them that the more conflict or another danko for the Dr. Mamun Baumia. Instead of the more conflict in Okado. Now, what to about Mona or BCs? It be a very important question there. President John Mahama, that time, the first time, them conflict you need to be. But at the same person, and when the NDC is in power, Boko is peaceful. But MPP, no way to get my Boko crisis are boho. This is reckless and irresponsible from President John Mahama. This is your one of power. In some or everybody of power.
But he's bent on doing something. So how reckless was that statement?
As one came to the year 2024. Mr. Mankind there is not bent of doing something. Missy, you ask an important question which expose none some or can. As some catch a Ghana for you there. Say end this war power, there's peace in Boku. The trust them that demands them war you on Kodo. But MPP were being mad. And I demand some no Kodo, no MPP no way to get the demands them. And I must say, to abandon. And at the time or the first time, we experienced this Boku situations as semi violence as you could one time. Nobody in Ghana for you work and they and this war power. Them situation on Kodo Boku, but MPP now over power. Them situation on Kodo. And you're reckless, and you're irresponsible. How can such a statement make that reckless and irresponsible statement? Huh? To the extent, there was a publication, and a video. I would link it to the Al Jazeera. There, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, one of the tribes, because there are two tribes, he says, and Dr. Mahmoud belongs to one of the tribes. You know, instigate the Mazino. All over social media, when what was checked, the documentary Bono fi Al Jazeera. You play all this card, against your political opponent. Very cheap and reckless. And now it has done on them, they are. Mwaye and say you know fata. Because there been some boko some yawa. Sure, or you about cheap tancy, or you about tribe, kusasi and mampusi. To the extent that the Wakwa Supreme Court are ruling on it. Who becomes the king, another offended overlord of what? Boku. Odu baby po wakacha in the massa. In Zama, I overlord of Bofusi and Air Canasa Numpo, or Numpo, or your MPP in the way to about it. Can you imagine? Okay? Odu baby, I am member of parliament. You see? I mean,
so the NDC and MPP, when you've played political twist into a critical issue.
I mean, the equalization because I have an MPP I got NDC. What my Boku conflict about? Mention one MPP because Mama wasn't. Mr. Alaji want to show Waka. President John Mahama mentioned. I also as the NDC mention the name. Mention Obinisi na Waka the master no NDC na the master. But then I say MPP in NDC. I mean with the evidence, Amo. Let's face it. Munya here. Nipa wa yo. Onyazepa oye yo. obi sebio nyo bi mpon kan na asem to na ode hwete bi owo msisi I mean sad the situation besi we na we twaja to mama ayarega ni fiem as majority sebio sad na wasam say twaja ato police commander no ho ni fi the police commander why there and most of the time here one na work home as military officers and our police officers was send one to Bokono. What peace no prevail on them. No one's be born away. To the extent Mahama Yaga can answer me made allegation against the government at that time. The Sika spent hormone Uribia.
You were using 3 million Ghana cedis every month. Boku issue.
Yeah. About them conflict. About then, I pity every government in power because I'm budgeted for. Satimasi, are you telling me that right now? So just now we'll move on to Bokono. What I'm hearing was what
I was talking about your budget. MPP government will use every month. Boku issue 3 million Ghana cedis.
And I'm saying I'm hearing what please
so Obi Ankara ahwe na what the question one.
Onya sika. And I'm so sad because clearly it will affect the budget government budget because I'm planning for that situation. But politics was made out of this by the NDC. And that was true about our President John Mahama etum catch Ghana for what time? Them situation that we sending or see what wabredo time and I president from 2013 to 2016. Etum Ghana for him catch and there. And this was power. And this was power. Them 70 BC. Or ya MP people were power. Them 70 BC. Academics and Sabio or ya Sabapa. And your policies there. Munya. You see, as soon as the two parties have a conflict, no matter what you ever set up or your roadmap on him, you the security justice boko. Say in Chirimano, because problems here was over way. One generations are all this is here now. A bunker when you have a or shall but what it's in a while, why do you stand there? Young colony yang. So when Jim, now one tunes ever be no one there, but who know although your man pushing me, you could assassinate you. Nipa. Mama Yago's in common, one catch and mammy one or belongs one of the tribe, and another person belongs to one of the tribe. How can I master him? If you not to him, no, or cheddar on yet the bidding of one more pay. We read the meanings into it. It doesn't help. What to trust her? There. Set or 2 4 bimps, no more yending. Oh, yeah, must be born. Someone gets a crowman from a book from one gets a one jantum there. My ye, or by accident. The obedi in Juma. Sabio obi beba edene. If in school co egwezi wa kwado ho na say mo trigger you know about marketing mo hwe marketing video da oh yeah sabo munia marketing why the park e punu ponzi wo but will prevent other tribe that you know what as well. It doesn't make sense. You want to trust one who will appeal because that means I mean no me sure or complicated drama be mekano I mean minimum how because for decades. But I mean the most important thing there, ma obiana command endene. Umbrafo. No way si no nsinko, no one shase, na mpuntum bra ho. Na dem situation ho I will work at the ko ho. And then you will just tribunal ekobu edwuma ho esboko. Afa nko. Enti one ankasa ana odo wagitum. We'll make sure that Sebio. Oh yeah, Yam BBI at Tozi. May ya come together and think about the people over there. Then oh yeah, impunta aboko. What does say? Because it doesn't help anybody. And then politicization I said you yeni anamo wo yen. Wo beje ya wonje. And then in some can na watango wa share President John Mahama. Me wan enyim perfect asam so kana yakuizam.
But Akachu, any effect this issue all Boko Olbe, it doesn't affect political party A or B. It affects the whole nation.
So why should John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, play that political card? Why? Because of opportunity. Why? Why should Alhaji Sologo also play that political card? Huh? And thinking that it will not affect Ebiahene or Aseha, another in Fin, another area, the water or the western. But the most important thing there, say, oh, since ya, now the troops are also called for peacekeeping at the Menzamano. On Kayam budget, home. Or don't work a town for beautiful for Setamasi. What you can what the demand on me on your plan. The Mexican go to that boy, no what I in some for Friday, or boy hanging and I'm a boy. But otherwise, what is to the Fugo, what feed one, what fool one, what comes, however, that mobile now, they know what boy cow. Nasawangasa and Senaho Nankade O. Me pass some dre, tell Boku for Nankasa, the residents of Boku, me pass some dre. Not even road map was to call or 2-4. Namishan. Because although the dynamics are not the problems or Bokono, it will not be the same as Yendino. But it's a man again. No one, not 1 hour come want to solve the situation because it's not helping anybody. But when you be outside, baby, out, or pay, or do for pay.
The movie doesn't warrant RP, Anna.
I see.
The move, the mediation move, and I'm or two for an monobility. Does it warrant RP from Obia?
How do I social media?
Now, you speak to social media issues.
Social media, moreover, now today extension of traditional media. Sometimes the news in better, Oba and Sana be in the traditional media. Come and say, but they're verified. But the most important thing, I'm not to touch it because it doesn't help anybody. Hey, whether NDC or MPP, the more conflict you occur, it doesn't benefit you. But to use it as a political tool to come to power, Titsu, President John Mahama, how he used it and how he said it was reckless, irresponsible, and it shouldn't happen again. Never should that happen again. Because as a statesman, although you are a candidate, you don't do that. What to touch your power?
Was it not a campaign, a political campaign?
No, so reckless. Because as someone cannot inquire. And nobody can tell me the master then defend this. Let's call the spade a spade. Na manankasa road no that one. Tira mene da. Another ne roka se roka de. Or ma or 2-4. The road map be no wide ne. Wait one amon matter trust. Bibiara on my yamboa. Because a crew I said you basabasa woman no Emma. Impuntu ya dene. On quado.
I got to me that say, all right. Commander.
It's unfortunate. And Master Ten, I don't want to delve into it. But sometimes we need to be measured the kind of things that you say. It's not what do you think or what do you feel there. That's what you should say it. Obia, only when President Mahama made that statement, it was in 2023. if there was a follow-up, I'm coming.
Somewhere in August, during the campaign period, you also made the same comment.
And I'm saying that it was based on something. It was based on something. So for people who want to use it and be saying so many things about President Mahama, it's up to them. But the fact does not support it. If you have studied the history of Boko conflict, it was a time somewhere in 1983 when the PNDC decided to give a portion, some role for the Kusasis to also operate. The Mampusis were not happy. And these are documented. Then it's gone to a point. In fact, in the history, when they are tracing the history of the crisis in Boko, the PNDC, NDC, and they even said that after the formation of MPP, it was the MPP that decided that whatever has been given to the Kusasis does not belong to them, so they should go back and take it. I didn't want to say all these things because what's when you don't come to Tunkran?
It was the NPP.
Yes, and I can give you, if you want to read about the history of Boko, you can get it easily. I'll give you the link. You read. That's why I said there. The history of Boko crisis. No politician in Ghana can take himself off of it. That no, you can't do that. Because every narrative, as far as the Boko conflict is concerned, the two main political parties, your name comes in. Yes, man. Before MPP 4, clandestinely, Mbocho Tenyeyo decided that or there Boko na owo ehin dada one. Say yo. Sometimes some of these things we don't have to be talking about this on radio. But the moment President Mahama becomes a trappier, we need to let the facts come. There is one man here, educationalist. Now, part of this conflict were banned, like prevented from becoming a chief. Wafrane Alhaji Seidu Abagri. In 2023, MPP na what's happening? Alhaji Seidu, what's what Pedro was in him? But what say yo? As at the time of what Pedro was in him, na Boko, one chief. Ochada Boko na ba wo. Ntenyi most ma yendi samana ba na. Yendi woku ohenan mama nkan dempo. Ohenan nya nya mefre true violence. When the security apparatus won the state or the president, they failed. All the necessary protection or the wadzama, the Bewa Palace were neglected. No woku ohenan. Time I walk Dam Seidu Abagri Ohenan. The Minister of Information, Kojo Pankroma, issued a statement. No, I say the government recognizes Mo'otanadon as what? The chief. Who controls the security?
The government.
Who is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces?
The president.
It is a minister, no spokesperson, or Kadamasemi. No, we know what to walk. Nairi or Narigu on him. No, we can see on him so that you have two chiefs for Boko on him before the way. Do you know why I'm not talking about these things? Because what's there? How are you women see here? We need solutions. We don't need one yeah or be come once more. That is not what we are looking for. Until that makers and message there, the politicians. As well, I will send you a link. If you read the history of the Boko conflict, Obi also there. Look, geographically, Boko is a walking distance from Burkina Faso. If you look at the map, over the extreme end. So like my village, Tumu, which is just about 9 miles from Burkina Faso. In the case of Boko, or you're closer than Animal Chrome Tumun. So, people who are analyzing this without the mind of Obina Oka Semitia, MPP Funti, the Bampako must be crucified. They are even looking at arms trading. In fact, people are even talking about the involvement of terrorists.
Based on the proximity of
to those areas. When we are sitting on such an issue, a mistake that we committed, for Boko. Who created that mistake? Why then we see Alhaji Sedu Abagiri was in him when there was a Boko Naba. So we can out there cause a Boko why mistake. Yes, man. If somebody said that, I tell you what I am more watch it on him. This is hey. The minister is a chairman of RESEC. Could be an example. But a minister not with all the security intelligence ne ikrobi in central region. Now watch him for see why be on him won't do another. What do you think will happen? Womblem wana. As that why I the mazi on when yaw. Nampakuna kakada wana I create confusion on moment I won't crucify it. What kind of logic is this? Important homo watching on him wabi chrono wahinan. And you know what? They rather provided security in the enclave, so to say, no yeah, Mamprusis and the Kusasira, so that in the installation and a horramba. Now what's in Panoko? Naregu. Now what can hen woho? Honestly, your overlord of Boko. Into Bokua and him for bien Boko na above for bien. MPP Funa way. And you are saying no, be kada I want a confusion about. Into Bakun my mistake. Now wait till why you are watching in a bien on him say Bonudo on we. So when you what's there on him okay cry. It is on him okay crumpo. Maybe a wabashana name no confusion about. That's a different thing altogether. Because as a bar, yen designer. It got to a point there. After forcefully were eliminating, the replacement became a problem. So the Autumn 4 Mediation Committee was looking at how to prevent future occurrence of the Miyendi crisis. At the same time, Abakon Obi and successor. Problem are occurring in 2001. Not the same MPP in Wabenum. Say you to me if you ho. Na Boko no so sabi wa but abatina do mo wasan watch on him was akanwa. As them Boko no kada uni create confusion wa bo musu. Na wo na ma watch on him kan mo ye bie I want one order. One sha when na won gu shew.
So the recent issue the escalation of being another Boko na ba watching or account.
That was in 2023, 2015.
2023.
Yes, sorry, I'm sorry. 15 February 2023. So you did that. Obi kan wan some da una ya. Mbakun wa afuma. Okay. Esman, why would you decide that in one community, a paramountcy? Other when your paramount chiefs say bien. Mumbo chronism. But here in Central Region, now you one paramount here. I also owe them problem maybe. One is na one. Na ekoye an installation from the paternal side, then another installation from the maternal side. So their issue was in terms of our fasi. When an order than off we go. And everybody was holding to it. Because if I can't land now, I can't maternal. But there are a section of communities in central region who are that paternal side, the ones who found themselves in central region. But Sabin paying for will tell you maybe what I'm referring to. They had that issue. In fact, Okudi Tambia, if you're a politician and you are getting to that area, what's or there there? Either there, Ebo Kusmazi. Na aseva ho bi nyinara anya da ma confusion by then obaba you sit down and create this problem na sit down mpako na create problem we now obaka da na mo confusion aban mpako na abomusu how what were you using the security for? Were you just happy calling yourself the commander in chief? Just like people blame President Kufuor in the crisis of the Yendi. But the Yendi answered that was at a point armored car now up protect the police. No batteries to do answer. It's for a minister to come out and say that the government will not recognize any installation of any chief. So what's it? Abano waka the muno. Or Tinawana what's a hena? Where was the security?
Oh yeah. Okay. I got to.
Munia. Sure.
Why this twist? Whereas the issue was taken.
Messi. Beaucoup problem or your decades or your chieftaincy dispute. And now or your two tribes, Mampusi and Kusasi issue. Or your Ahinism. And now tribes too are here come once. And more you are holding there. There's a court ruling, Supreme Court ruling now. Watch Nibakra or there. Or you're him.
So the issue is about an allodial ownership of Boko.
That is it.
Then who owns Boko?
The year 2020, year around so na MPP a campaign. The overlord of Oyo Boko. Now the Danko Akufado. Okonho. I don't put no church him then if you say or Zaban or Yakama. Nana don't know who's him. You see, I'm saying that when you politicize it, or your politicians na wama the man summon Abba or another Danko Akufado or Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, that is reckless and irresponsible. Tidama yendi issue no see na or Hinano or Kabibino. They politicize it to the extent there or your President Kufuor no kun. And this is one manifesto, what the shame. They were win about the year 2008. Obey your investigations, not the corporate of 1 hour the Mazano. Watch one as well. So it's about me 8 years. Maybe so. One on wouldn't go in a court. Address one. One on wouldn't go in a court. Though your MPP now, on no ma. Say your hand away Indian. Wokun wana enyan politicians are ofi endisa why da kontompo enwa what's about benema dam na why in 2024 was as about benema munya me biso no new manifesto mu waka che Ghana for oye President Kufuor na bere na wahwe ema the overlord of Yendi wewu nti waba wobohwehwem na woni obi biara odi dem erukaze no enwa dem stories about battery armored battery them they told us when they were in opposition, but what the man said them what about 8 solid years one chire court a cry what them nyimpa no go gire court pronounced them guilty of killing Yendi overlord no. Then, when to Anya Foko, It's some situation see. Mebo, and I'm sorry, are reckless on their part. Anytime that they put a politics on this and twist it. There, 2 tribes, one in a walk. In obedience will be him. You blame the person now. I'm not supporting the background. My why then? We'll see them in. Meanwhile, up and there, overload of the Dabona. The president recognized this is offended.
But as a government, you have the security intelligence on every issue or kodo. So why would the government then no the one saying for
you can have you can have the security intelligence or whatever. But say your main night and I'm sorry offended them disaster to America. What they play in Kobo or 90 11th American one intelligence that is not also in Ghana for you. But it happened. But men justify the Odosi. But when it happens, you don't put a political twist on it. But my simple say yo, as what make and or your simple. I'm saying that John Dramani Mahama, the president of the Republic of Ghana, as someone kind of reckless.
That anytime NDC is in power, Boku
peaceful. And I'm saying the year 2000.
Maybe our basis are not the kadam.
And his what? On Ankasa president, the first term, no. Boku crisis is we see what happened. We see. So when he tells out there, anytime NDC is in power, Boku is safe. The mazin is. Oh yeah, go with some. And Obaka Chende, we'll see 2024, 2023, no see. As what? Was the statement proper? Yeah, and I'm going to 1 and I'm saying they did same with Yendi. Yendi sent me on yet another damn Kakufado. And the same or 2 for. What's the answer man there? On share ma assume Jimbra or Yendi man. And another damn for I said them committee. And I did them panel and I walk at the ma assume Jimbra Yendi. I ain't another know them as a man. But the MPP as a political party, we were told they instigated the men's man. If have a political party, I know what propaganda rank. What's the sense of why in communication? Abortan or run more than or abortan. They spew lies. And when you give them the opportunity to prove it and take action, they cannot do it. And still insist that them not then there is a problem. Because you cannot tell me and defend this statement from President John Mahama. There, the time, na boku issue the first time. You tell us rather tell us that NDC what powers are, boku is peaceful. But MPP, what about power that? There's crisis and other conviction boku. Meanwhile, now what time there was conviction boku? I can demand something on your reckless. I'm not responsible. And I shouldn't say it. It's not mechanical. There's a lot also behind it. What kind of water to into? As well. And sometimes I see a military officer walking over.
Yes.
Because I don't know you. Okay, my asumbiaba. Although, what can I assume Jambra Honum? Mubu, the more guns know what the monk of an seminar are they licensed and how do they get it? Even Tiabro Freya, what you call or a Hanumpo, a kito their licenses. And you remember? So, how did those people get the guns? Because I'm doing kitty a track academic, or your boko, another gun have a beer. You have to have a license to it. And I'm thinking, here. The men some year Kenya, and one way the trap here, why you're not politics. To them, why in the CCI. And it has catch up with them. Mubo, escalation will see 3 or 4 days ago. Walk a show where Mama Yaga. Can I read an input to it? Not to be the Mazaro. But don't want to go to Agusa was at home. Now, real problem no honor now. Concerning Boka crisis issue, and what? Not the one. Now you're about to NDC MPP. The president should stop speaking this way. Now, my ender, ender asama okay. I'm on your ho. Now you're my otun for the backing. Ena, one over cano home, what to others with Yabano. Yam walk when you know, one yama assume Jimbra. Ninja them accusation, but down for the head. Yeah, against ourselves.
All right. Okay. I got to be that. Every some more messages in Umbra. My main kind this message in a young call in a name. Good afternoon, Mr. Host. NPP just want to divert our attention from the ECG missing containers and Edubuahin's cases, but we are still investigating the two cases. Uncle Sammy from Entranwa. All right, Uncle Sammy. Okay. Good evening. Please, Okoye Tablaka always brings paper documents for evidence before he speaks. That is why no one could send him to NIB or any security for investigations. Sewa Bruni came out to speak. So please, Intim Fojo shouldn't bring the evidence and stop. Intim Fojo should bring the evidence and stop praying tongues. Okay. Good afternoon, Kamina. The procedure in Parliament, which the Honourable has just explained, means that Honourable Intim Fojo knew all these procedures before going out with these allegations outside. But ignore them. My question here is that why didn't he go by them, and can't Parliament punish him for bleaching the regulations? I am Ohini Jan of Gusi Pub inside Besakrum. Thank you. All right, Ohini Jan. Mr. Host, the MPP man in your studio is making false statements. Okay, JD Simple. So JD Simple, bring out the truth or the true statement. NPP, you see, all days are not equal. Now you are in opposition. Give Ghana a break. We don't need you anymore. NPP Kenkenkwa from Boga and Kafufie, and then also Ze Aba. On Boko issue, I believe the solution to measure the entire land area to establish value in monetary terms, use same value to compensate the Mamprusis through the putting up of an institution that will create permanent employment for them in one of their strong traditional towns. The Mamprusis should then be resettled in their kingdom, not placing anything on the table will resolve the issue. I mean, very, very difficult. Let's consider this approach from Eja Ampa, Newtown, Abra Academy. Hey, Eja Ampa, do you think this monetary negotiation that you are talking about, you know, and when you want to go in? Good afternoon, Kamna. What are they constructing at the UCC First Gate at Diako? Is it overhead or footbridge? In fact, I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it. And see, to them, na yanyi the PRO of UCC Zeho Enkomo. So me pocho first time I haven't seen it. Into I'll suma confirm on what is going on there. All right, but share Facebook. I'm Kofi Kimmich, watching you live from Elmina. Keep up the good work, Kastle FM. All right. Atu, we want solutions and stop blaming others. From Oye Robert Yankson. Watching you live from Econ. I am in a meeting. Call me later. Appointees, NDC executives into Mansa Abregu and okay. So these are some of the messages are about elho. But also the number 0244743143 0244743143 na yenzi inkomo elho. I think boko issue yentumi wiene and a complicated issue. So we will move on na yako other issues na later on. If you the painful words in common as that obebechi bi ano so no ye be zone komo but education minister was set 2027 deadline to abolish the controversial double track system in senior high school. I say this aimed at fulfilling a key campaign promise by the National Democratic Congress before the 2024 election. Education Minister Nedusu announced the timeline during a stakeholder forum in Sunyane, Bono region, aimed at improving quality secondary education. Addressing educators and policymakers, Minister Idris acknowledged the challenges of double track system, but assured that infrastructure expansion is underway to phase it out by 2027. Then also, I say the leadership of the various secondary schools will make sure to restore discipline schools in so we'll combine these two issues now is in common. Angato, my member do the next 7 minutes is in common on minister ni deadline on 2027.
The issue here, I quite remember when Ghana Education Service will issue statements in American mobility. I want to propaganda and started our battle. And the must send those with my Ghana Education Service rescheduling of or now reopening dates for single track schools. Management of the Ghana Education Service wishes to inform all heads of single track schools, single track senior high and senior high technical schools that the reopening date for single track schools has been rescheduled to 23rd April 2025. By this letter, regional directors of education are recognized to communicate this information to all heads of single track senior highs and senior high technical schools to inform parents or guardians and students to take note of the new reopening dates and prepare accordingly. Sign of N. Prince C. Ajimendua, Director of Schools and Instructions Division for AG. Munia. Them not table ya na washa secretary and we try double track.
Deben, because this letter bar on the 27th of March. One of the way to double track him.
Some of the video be said, basically. A query only. From one Kevin Taylor. They by 23rd of March. Single friend a double track way trip.
But Kevin Taylor is not part of this government. On your education minister.
Part of this government.
Now, that's per one Kevin Taylor. No. But actually, the ministers are His Excellency offer me a Kevin Taylor.
Or a minister. That's also okay in this one. I don't come. I'm not influential. I know Ghana how what the national security protected.
Does it have power to announce to the Ghanaians?
Ghana national security woman bodyguard.
Why not concentrate on official communication from the government?
And see, I feel now official communication of the Minister of Education, why they want because the propaganda not so. But you see, we were told there are a double track that schools in the way. There are about more than 700 secondary schools or public schools in Ghana. Out of it, almost like 120 of them in a way a double track. And yet, you see, double at the moment is in a double track. But first, I mean, I don't offend double track. Now you were green and yellow. Form one, they were green. Enough. Within Form 1, they were green, they were yellow. Set as it. Within Form 2, they were green, they were yellow. This time round, the new Form 1 for war green, the new Form 2 for war yellow, and now Form 2 for war green. You understand?
But still, binum ko fie in a binum school.
And America manka them. Messi first and not double track. Say happy you. Not Form 1, you have green track and yellow track. This time round, you need them yellow track in Form 1, another green track in Form 1. Say to me, oh yeah, say Form 2 through school, and I when you know the whole Form 2. This time I can say Form 2 to Form 3 for it, school Form 1 for it, who fee. But Munya, we were made to believe. The secondary school saw our Ghana had now a double track, which is totally false. Munya, what started free SHS in the numbers near the name, of course, it's clearly, or there was a Jinibi and I then she said for be back over to my accommodate a dumb donor. Instead was a double track bear now, where Form 1. Or yeah, Form 1 miss your track, or your green, not track, or your yellow. As time will not infrastructure so we'll see to the extent of CCR, why know a transition. Form 1 from the walk, Form 2 from the walk, 1 year green and yellow. And so yaka crack, it's been what? Abolished from there. Yeah. We were told, and the more articles you are happy, the urban double track system. John Dramani Mahama, the president of the Republic of Ghana, on one Monday too, but occurred very soon. They are going to abolish it. But I tell you, I said in Katia, you won't be occurred in 90 days. You could be occurred in 100 days. And you could be a free of and on President Jomama Nakazi, friend Joyce Bauer.
Joyce Bauer Mutari.
On occurred by 2026. Now I abolish your double track. Obia come but the most important is they say education for now. Education is now. They tell you that because of student no cultural exams, what pick one preferred schools, and most of the time they pick schools are what grade A schools. And everybody wants to make sure they work the most grade A schools. It's actually out of 709 plus, all your public secondary schools now, all Ghana have now. And I'm saying out of the 700, it's like 120 of them na CCR warrior double track now. Most of the 120 of them get the schools now. Because what fact for there? Asama or yeah, Minister of Education party there, they will make sure that we expand another was the infrastructure and be better a back so that they can accommodate everybody. And that's the thinking of every government. But you see, there's another one view of one share 1 year. Yeah. The reason why most of the grade A schools in CCR were on double track because second track in there because of other schools, one upgrade one, another one do the level of maybe a Chimota in France, Holy Child, advanced that. Urban the choice of schools now, movement period and walk into although to me then upgrade them schools and so not by them level. You understand me? And I been a part MPP among your coaches on the year started this is STEM schools. As or secondary schools friend in urban or primary, not GSS, so come. But the most important, the STEM schools is near the pneumonia, so that we ease them or your burden of infrastructure now. Or what schools are working grade A schools.
But do you think the number of STEM schools will ease that number?
You see, really, if you have them, they should continue. Because
you face the reality. STEM schools, no, you're in.
10.
Oh, 10.
Yes.
So that 10 STEM schools, say, young family will really obey is that
you see, population increase.
Yes.
So definitely, your infrastructure still must go on. Actually, time until the work comes to an end.
So it's about infrastructure, not bringing in another model of school.
Me too. As far as I can, and as well.
That's what I say.
You were all your school stuff and grade A schools. most of the time, because of Afraban or peak school now, and a lot of people today we are mama typical exam in France and France will be of 1,500. The one will pick it 3,000. One you know per admission, one grades na BBI okay. And so about them now, and two men carry as one united alcohol, digital HM and I be them. Not them double track them. But I'm saying that other schools are offering grade BC schools, you know, or they upgrade non share about the standard of oil achievement and facility. I had no so that one of what when you picture them grade A schools now or upgrade them schools now, they can also work. So when you them school then you know what my call. But change now
is it about the upgrade or the infrastructure deficit? Because I upgrade the school to Crampona, people will still prefer to go to those schools. But your infrastructure gap will still face this same problem. So it's not about upgrading.
Maybe infrastructure gap. But I'm saying the preference on grade A schools, you know, a lot of them pick it as their first choice and second choice. See, that's what I can because they think that the schools, you know, are other schools, you know. And I'm saying that we can also do same for other schools that over pick up by them grade A schools, you know. Recently, actually, math and science schools now. Now say no, some schools be have no one yards, but we pick up and I'm a boy. They compete with the big one. Or there. Urban the learning conditions, you know, or also, but you need an infrastructure over there, and I'm a that is solid out there. And so that about just building infrastructure, how to upgrade those schools, to become the standard of infrastructure, Wesley Girls, Holy Child, Demons Zamano, so that them could find a tumor I pick other schools. But you see, I will not criticize the minister for giving a deadline. They are A, B, C, D. Because, boss, me care by the year 2000, was it 18 or 19 or so, a minister also predicted some years to come they will end or the double track. All bounds down to finances and how you build it. Okay. It's or your boss in a target. And as I'm in the year 2027. So, I wish you were, because all better. It makes the education system more comfortable and people to go in. But the most important the reason why this double track was implemented, you know, to make sure that a lot of people go to school.
All right, me that's it. Commander.
Well, this is my area. No amount of somersaulting and gymnastics will solve any problem. Double track or one on your.
Because so
what is this issue of STEM and grade 1 and grade 2 na grade K na grade Z? What is it? There's an issue at stake. And the educationists are looking at something. The reduction of classroom contact hours. It has nothing to do with it, because if there's going to be a double track, and I'm confused with apply for STEM, double track and become. So the grade 1, the grade 2, grade A, B, C, D. What is it? You have created a problem for the education system in this country. Teachers are not comfortable with how you manage it. And many stakeholders in education are not happy. There might be now there's timelines. We'll have to look at the timelines. Now, I never charge him. At the charge na Sabio in your 1.7 year, 38 year. As on 88 or 40, but why they be able to come in the year Ghana for what's our now because once I'm no at the count was a pseudo Abakana ya for dying and Sabaka. Baba Mankasam job in this country. Na ya ma wafane shift. The shift policy is just like the double track. I'm because school and a penny we are busy in view. Nti do you know what we do? Even more kanopa. And one of the issues are Obianyim that know the cause of our problem in there. Our government failed to plan. It is if you check the education system in this country, Echo school be sometimes beginning of the academic year, ebuna GS phone war collect some data. Data give them the opportunity to project. At the end of the day, my from my hand, they be a wolfy basic school, and now from in our policies, somewhere along the line, not kindergarten. No, kindergarten was not on the GS. No social welfare for our here. So you need to check what is moving from the kindergarten to the lower primary, upper primary, basic school, then to SS. This planning. So we had a shift. That is why many of the stakeholders were amazed that they are struggling. Even then, the shift was in the basic school. Shift system, no basic school. In the you struggle moving field there. There was a program also for the schools on the trees. All of them, geared toward making sure that the shift in a non na bazi. Ya the magic in area. Is a mechanic assigned the double track as ABM. Even from basic school, yes or yeah. Secondary school now work with university. I want to about. But it wasn't strange to Nkwafu Bebre. Because in the year 2006, 2007, no, was it Mika we implemented SS4. SS4. That the secondary education, although you're running for 4 years.
Yeah.
Tell me now why you're the mazen. The same coffee I want to do now. Since I was push him STEM school. As if the STEM now you're gonna go school. They decided that we increase in for 4 years. But the provision of the necessary or needed infrastructure was not captured. Na Ghana for there, I want what into 2008. What to abet 2008 in Yaba Benjamin. The first thing that we did on the other years BBF emergency school project. Na get the bay to bridge that gap. God, I'm time and I'm a phone baby. Baby, Sebi, what be the actually the simple or yes. Most of the canteens, Naza, our school dining halls, were turning most of them into dormitories. So you needed to prevent it. Almost all the second cycle institutions in Ghana had one way or the other a projector. No, Obwa in solving that situation. The same thing was a double track so under the free CHS with the game. But what's it there? Say, now was a monowaji. We have taken the bull by the horn. What we intend doing in there? Send once it's on your economy. Intend we'll just go straight with the same model now you're using in 2009. Then Yamaha what we call the emergency school project. Today, as we speak, there are a lot of projects. Baby, one part. Today, if you man wasn't saka, ne count nothing you know go ban for free. What bedu that you have to pay? Must there esu. Nin to me now was a more than edgy, so you can't complain. Now, provision of infrastructure. So what the government is doing now is that gradually, until 2027, I target. What can our will be in terms of planning, more often smarten. So the timing, which is the last one, what's it should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So the time is that by 2027 we should finish it. Yere kadama semi. What's I bit of father? Say, you between ye nje butum ya ye nkonja ni biem
wa moto abedi economy ni
emuna na we to ama he na unprecedented in the history of Ghana. The economy of this country unprecedented. Baby, I hear watching he biara. Even when you look at our history, from where it was recorded that Ghana's inflation was over 100%. In 1981-82, our inflation was over 100%. So, from that end, and even 1981-82, on the way we have a haircut. But it's a cut on coffin head. Mama Bruce William, but that's what I say. Into the might be Yenjina the Mijina Bill now. You're able to be moving quickly. Mama, more example. When they were working on the 1987 education reform, no one in their infrastructure was a challenge. Do you know what they did? They had a program under the PAMSCAD. And PAMSCAD was a program, I think, under the World Bank or something. We provided we also found pavilions. In most of the schools, I will feed the problem of what was the diamond was okay. Today, you were contracting and Zama, why would a Jabin? What kind of way as a Jabin at say? Why and Fansaka can young campaign force was in Mukwayro? So you need to navigate your way out so that you to be ident Yayan Hujuma. Well, quick. Yes, man. 2027.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you can't only the answer and most of the project. You go how way you and more in feel. Inside your community day secondary school, so I share munum. You be no share habanum. You be a kakum for a cinema, you be a zoo nazing na.
Community day school, because it was you.
I tell you, see, one was one of my father zoo. My wash over munum a water a swimming pool to them, a cadira nothing. Nina ho. So if you're able to work on all these projects, you reduce the pressure on the schools. For instance, so obi a day student, one Tranwa community day secondary school. No, chada on horn who about quite graphic. I can't boarding. So there will be no need for you to provide boarding facility at what? Igwafo. The main pan on horn no there. About quiet naman. So it means that the pressure on Ebia Igwafo, Ebia naman boarding school, no the boko form. You don't need to add, but so, rather use the Sikano, Nafoko complete, and Tranwa community day secondary school.
Commander, in a minute, na fancy. Are we not having a challenge? The school placement system, and you did announce this issue. I mean, always it's been compounded.
Yeah, so Nina, I am can I hear party boys? Jewa, Obia per cash.
Yeah. So
with a small ABR, they take advantage of it. Into the placement, I know into maybe I'm busy there, Mankachobia. Or ye be, but Zika band of Wuchen or I mean, Masako Uchi Mobi 8,000 Sikano Yansanka. If you strengthened those institutions, so Momo example, National Service, so where you're reposting, we also find a special posting, Brofaro Nazi protocol posting, the Nia Break. Then the director decided that yeah, reposting via. Now the party for no so were fighting. But chat Makanaza. Director said that 1 year reposting because the reposting, what it means is that he has to open the portal. Obey portal now. The regional has access. It is Obi or how open change in that. Obi a why a special posting be in fact as at last year. Why a services here. It be also a special posting of Wajinska. But that I say. And now Obi decided there the man didn't hear him. Did the mean partner we decided there hear him? No party for us was that now we are caged my yaba power. Yaba power be a musumi 100 be always a how do we navigate our way out?
Right.
And I will not just say there placement to problem and no placement in problem. Placement are your computer system. And Obi a why a computer education be a or Brofu could be a computer on you pa. Also find a garbage in, garbage out. What you put in is what the system will produce.
Yes.
Into my system knows the brain and on other bar. No one no input.
So the human factor.
Oh yeah, human face. Into the been what we was then on the young pushy. AI no way if there. Now so AI now so or pick I so you have thought and all the
May I say engineer Commander Comrade. All right, Brim 0244 408-046-0244, 408-354. But Minya, our thoughts on the issues are discussed in the about 30 seconds too in the butcher and echo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kwamina.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Master Dawood Mukasif Abra.
Dawood, our 10 seconds, me too.
Oh, Macham brother Nurdin. I honorable Master Wenzima. Hebra brain now. Ghana money MPP aban.
Hey.
I'm a 10 to Kram Chesi Siala. Education Samia working. Emra MPP for Aban, wo ye dede would to train Yaswa there. We see schools in Aden, so if it's anchor today, we'll see that us will see 10. Well, at 10 or 2 more solve
no. 10 or can you STEM schools? Or yes, STEM.
So honorable, on Sabua, on no man, Lankasa, on money or what to Nasi, what bubble, what share money. Internet is how Ghana how. Nesia Nia Nature the way I work criticize John Mama then no more. One year she Ghana for you one Ankasangasa. John Mama business wouldn't queen me that day.
Master Meda say Dawood Elwon so day. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Chairman, me too. Our 10 seconds, Chairman. Me too, Yanko. Master Medasi. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I'm going to see 10 seconds. Yeah.
Medasi. Mama kind of, what that? Someone what catch you you catch you. The more mind them, more bear and the more bokuye. So I don't know what catch you more than I'm so that for that today, Gaha. Yeah, the within in between him, more also the Waba Soka. Once one will see another region at the same time, at least more bear. Baba, Madam Sack system one. Once alone, you bucket and bucket and not major than engineer. It will show one more a man can no quell. Major never catch it. All right. Come on, Canada.
Master Medasi. Good evening.
Fantastic evening.
I saw Khalifa, me too.
Me pacho tun kai ye de because be am no.
Me too 10 seconds me too.
Me pacho be new deal o ka sem be man tin ye, be so answer me. O ka say new chrome to mu, be say won offer to man man am na answer ma me pacho a ehia me pa.
Commander, what every to man
MPP for transfer mo ko.
But I say
on free one our transfer no ko ke ye juma.
Okay. Double track and I think say this about to me a through Horma to me the better there because initially green gold now I feel like to know because the same school be no nim senior no nim colleagues I mean it's not fair what I say but gradually no man by this double track or something like that but still now I was say from 1 to form 3 they should all be in school for them to know each other. What I say for this double track, it could happen. Say, Obi or Fang will know Obi or from two. So in other way, so question will be me want to look at the same school, and so we need no. Because I think say they should quickly make sure say at least the double track must end. Say at least all the students will know each other. Fantastic news.
But that's Sasha Khalifa. Good evening. Oh, okay. When you mean good evening.
Good evening. I'm coming. I'm
Pasha. I'm Admo boss in Pochawa Soy.
All
right, Shaq, 10 seconds.
You better say there. Anchor to. You better show up. Stand up, Uncle Nudin. But Uncle Nudin is checking my path. But Anchor to be done and I'm
review. So you are not ready to. On your own, I bet you will be a fine number of program. No, Dana will be a mammy and fan number. Issue near discussing to better. Good evening. Yes, sir.
I'm going to attack you more.
All right, I'm going to too.
Yes, what Your mama also about now, most of problem. On top of man, I back in Canada. Moya, than education, no, Moyama education on Kunim. So I would have been over the same class and at the same school. Now, when you want over school in the school, or the matter even at Nina, before the election, what car and people do a mock. When we are waiting.
All right, Maso Medasi. Good evening. Mami Jennifer, I'm in too. Marty. All right. And sorry, 2028. All right. Where I see. Okay. So good evening, boss. Yeah, me adu mo papa mpocha won so e.
Oh, nyame da nche ya boga anka mufi.
All right, boga min too.
Uncle, about internet MP24. Almost tired. Young Ghana. Amambuya. MP24 Omubuya. Bibiansem. No, almost a Ghana another Eden. No, me power show. Me MP24 show. Omumbra Mombasa at me somewhere or anything more. Me power show.
Okay.
That's my
Basu, medasi. Good evening.
Good evening, man.
Yes, sir.
What the question is saying, sir boy?
Because I will 10 seconds, me too.
Kwamna, young man, maybe before me or the Wabatna, baby, sour tea. I better tell the Bushume Barton. And the woman, they do it at the management also of the Bushume Barton. That's what you did, we do also the Bushume Barton, and the main tower to the day. And then the management will stop for you. Mother, I feel what every done them now. It's one and another, why you now? What couple you feel with the one? Tell the few at all. You are to the number of your paper by the can tell you it's successful. That's a comedy. The kind of fiance, yes, of the job of us doing you know. I would see the gun of your form. All of the guitar, two cities are. The two to one to the maybe. But only feeding two cities or 20 cities are kind of one to the maybe. Okay, so what go on to the one side? And how are going to 3 hours? What about the money, Mamma? All pass from the air. I love the woman, but I didn't see you to the two cities. That is the one him. Open the house and give the Kenya was said. So at the other way, I've been communicating or you know what I done with you. Or you may I say, because
means I will be so embrace me be. Okay, may I say. Good evening. For 10 seconds, me too. Why Jodo? For me, that's say, all right. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Captain Vanity Mori.
All right, Captain me too. Captain Planet, what can say with you?
Hello.
Yes.
Let me see your churches as I'm working. 2017 was started. Pocho, a big kid today. From 8 years. APP, I've been over the school. To see, SS, Otu the map, I've been here, but no, the message is so.
I've been in school, yeah.
My better opposite. Only don't your man, Mamma, no, that's 8 years. I bet. For example, a date SSR. What you know that? The man Benino, the city school is university SSR before. You make about one year be that. The woman can count of years, but you, the more a do so working education. And tell you about Mobile, you know, how come them work with SS? SS now, 8 years now. We did short in a good also do so.
All right.
You know, we have that day. None of we have that day. First, uncle, to a better one. This is one of the power. It's a little.
But I see. Okay, all right. I was saying to me for offer for Bible infancy. Come now, please. Have they arrested any corporate? Could you transfer? Could you? I be issue Nerika on corporate to be a watcher. No, I mean who issue chronom. Jagos from Insawom. I want to use one stone to kill two birds at the same time. Concerning those Boku youth who went and burned Mahama Yerge's residence, I think it's part of the resetting of this administration concerning what is going on at Boku currently. So we can't say much about it. And again, concerning the re-registration of the SIM card, if I may ask, who at all is advising Sam Joy to re-register our SIM cards again? All right. Watching the show live from Ahafo, Kenya State number 2, Jericho, fantastic. Okay, but I say, also there I hear from Ahafo, Kenya State. Teacher Kujo Chobodom, 4 years no be late. You go to the house of a ranking member of defense in Parliament House with this Rambo star. Simple task: set up a commission for people to answer questions on Med flight. You can't, but you set up committee every day. Reverend Intimfojo is fine and free. All right. Patriotic voice goes so. Nonsonese. Regards to Dr. Digitalization Baumia and Mr. Amankwa Jari Isaac, NPPC and West Constituency Second Vice Chairman, Mahama and the NDC government have deceived Ghanaians by maintaining Nanado and NPP government producer price of a bag of cocoa. All right. Nonso Nadia Oze Abba. After using the Boko conflict to your advantage during the 2024 election, you are here to justify that statement from Mr. Mahama, Richie from Elmina. Okay, Richie Sunezi. Eugene from Abra. Mr. Host, please, is it advisable or good for Reverend to be a politician? Please, host, you are a pastor. Answer me. Pocho, na politics. I will be able to my politics. I cannot answer you that question. Good afternoon, please. Is it true that court had made a ruling concerning the ownership of the Boko land? If it is true that President Mahama said it, if NDC party comes into power, Boko becomes peaceful, was very unfortunate and tasteless comment. Pain in cancer. Pain in Kasasa from Adai, a room family. Okay. Mr. Host, you see how the NDC can be. They have no shame at all. You remember how they rubbished this double track system introduced by the previous administration and how they made it look so bad in the eyes of many parents. May God have mercy on them. Richie from Elmina. Okay. And this one, the great serial caller, Shamaba is on fire. A tie, wow, best, Asamaba. All because there are 7 unworkable people in his NDC. Okay. Samaba ba mental wonka. Aye. And last one, good evening. The good NDC fraternity is the nation builder, and Yanum is nation robbers. Kakomodo. All right. It was a see. Okay. I think may read the messages in all right. I got to Yako.
Muni, I'm establish a fact. President John Mahama, this statement will make you a mess or reckless or catch a head there. Say NDC wa benema, but we are peaceful MPP ba benema, and I'm talking about Horman now. What catch a head the market will make in the year 2023 or Yakubisem, and this is Ghana News Agency. Obiangogo or August 5th, 2024. Boko is peaceful with NDC in government. John Mahama, Mamon quotes Nansama Okeno. If you look at the current history, you will find out that anytime NDC is in government, there is peace in Boko and surrounding areas. As soon as we hand over to our brothers, then trouble start. He said, GNA, August 2024. And this statement now, was not made in 2023. In Pakro Kadamasem, which I could say last time we what started 3 SHS out of the 709 schools I can 7 no what double track or you 589 were a single track 589 or a single but what or your double track is about 120 Neka chain and yenyashi. But we created problems.
So still that thing is there. And one my timeline. So
man can the way you for.
Okay.
But as if they created the impression there.
1 year she.
Yeah, she. And I'm at that time. One and another non if you now one another non go school.
All right.
Merci.
But I say anchor too. Commander, a minute, Yako.
Well, in your a cover by if you don't plan, that's what happened. So you don't ask them one about on Genevieve. So when you were giving the promise, did you think about where they will be studying? Last time, I catch that there was an article. We reviewed that one, but Maya Muhu was bringing education back to school.
Yeah.
And if you read that, or a Nigeria professor, if you read that story, I bet you what the education is, see school and what it should be. In this etinaho. Next day, I come Mama Kasam. Okay, Papa, you know, often Professor Kwesi Opoku Amankwa. Nana Akufo-Addo now appointed as Director General of Ghana Education Service. Important as it. You are to in November, December, Anna.
Yeah.
Okay. So read this story. Papa Nasamor can you there? Abolishing double track would deny 1.8 million students access to free education. Director General, MPP, yeah. No, what better abolition?
All right.
Oh, who will
move free?
As the person was saying this, there. Double track no be few. If say MPP for him that double track no few, yeah. What was the worry of Professor Kwesi Opoku Amankwa? The way if you are, Nkwafu 1.8 million. When you access to free education, they were using this argument today. Double track no the best. And this is a man a year kind there. Yeah, by a book.
Okay.
Young can't jam there. In fact, you're the first 3 months. And there, Yamahon definite timeline
2027.
Yeah, by a way, Juma.
Okay.
To take it. But there's one before the mass of me.
And be some yevi.
Maybe you feel
Abasama.
In time, President Kufuor set up the eminent chiefs on the Dagon crisis. 2002.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Nana Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
But Master Mekanye there. For you to sit down, you crow on him. The government to issue a statement. So the Nina was a young crocodile John.
But I say,
you are not catching there. I will not ask Mudiaba. If it is a Wabe, you can down
all right, we say, Commander, may I say, Commander, Commander, may you name the data. All right, we say, they see, Yanda Obibiase, Ridge Royal Hotel, High Sense, Damaso, and a Betway, and or game park, and when you in Jumukua, we saw Yanasan, Emma Yazi Jumezi Yazi bro me production team so me da wanna say Mr. Bernardo Go Osman FKK and enuanom nkan nyina Black Quiz on so otwe no to me Facebook and YouTube answer ne boso no happy birthday enkoma ora Tony oye juma ewo oye Zenith Bank happy birthday enkomo you from Odofubi and then osi yan wish you happy birthday or the nyame insure bebre the ozi afekor aka wonfi ho onti obon pai the nyame ma nyesika bebre na enkwatenten so onye oza enti Tony ewo Zenith Bank happy birthday to you. All right ebusa yedesi nyame adoma ochina yebesen esiebio na yezi another version of Mema no Hodo yezi abro anti anin kebiwa yemfensi ewo ha na yempeja yenumo yebesen esiebio. Have a wonderful good evening yakra wonyina. Bye bye.
Ma omani hu hiam na Ghana man oyame na wo yenze